Guns TV. Okay, let's get this done. The morning after, the night before, I am still in Huddersfield. About 10 of us stayed up last night in the hotel, and we were fucking really down, unsurprisingly. I did journey up to Rotherham as well during the week, and I'm not saying poor me, look at me, I'm just looking at the whole situation. I know others have travelled as well. As I said, 10 of us sitting in the bar last night, a little bit shell-shocked, a little bit just moping around, because things have flipped very quickly, and it does seem as if the honeymoon period is once again over. You know, our fans screaming at Harris yesterday, having a little bit of a back and forth with some of the players, booing the players. Their fans were booing their players. The game was so bad. At one point, I'll get onto that after. Let's start and talk about the game. Neil Harris said in the press during the week that we are going to come out swinging, and you know, I took that on board. I never thought we was going to beat Huddersfield. I never expected us to get a result now. I think that is 3 straight 1-0 defeats up there, and 3 terrible performances. I didn't go last year. I watched it on iFollow. I went this year, of course, and 2 seasons ago, where we didn't even muster a shot on target. And we didn't really yesterday, did we? To be honest, we should have done, we could have done. And again, in my opinion, we should have been out of sight. 3 changes were made. Murray Wallace dropped out, he was injured. Joe Bryan's also injured. So Danny Mack played at left back. Mitchell came back in for Casper De Noor, and Longman came in for Watmore. Longman got a lot of shit yesterday. A lot of the fucking hatred, and it was hatred, was directed at Longman. I don't really feel that that's fair. I mean, yes, he lost the ball a few times, but so did many other players, and he puts that chance for George Honeyman on a fucking plate. That's what he's there for. He's not there to play up front, you know. That's due to circumstances beyond his control. And for those saying, why would you take a striker off and put a right back up front? Obafemi again got injured, and that's a limp off, and that's why we had to have the reshuffle. Then Tanganga had to go off, and I think he was actually off when they scored, and then Hutchinson come on afterwards. So that's why the late subs, you know, injuries not severe within the squad, but definitely within the forward line, and Obafemi's not doing the business up front. Fleming's been non-existent, so options now are very light, and Maku was back on the bench. And I did see something that Neil Harris put in the press about how far away Nisbet and Bradshaw are. Desperately need Bradshaw back. I'm not sure. Someone let me know in the comments how long it was before one of those boys was going to be fit, because I didn't actually read the article. Look, the game, I do feel that we did come out swinging. We was competitive in the opening exchanges, first 10-15 minutes. They had a half chance straight at Sarkic. Then I've watched the extended highlights back today, and I know you all say you love Billy Mitchell, you defend Billy Mitchell. Well, I won't, because I thought Billy had a really bad game yesterday, along with a lot of others. But the shot he's had from the edge of the box, it hasn't even made the extended highlights. So, and that's 10 minutes worth. So if as little happened in that game as it did, and that still hasn't made the extended highlights, I feel it was a half chance that come to him quickly with lots of bodies in front of him, and he hits the target. The 2 gilt-edged chances are where we go from here. The first one, I said Longman does his job on the wing to get crosses in. I'm assuming that's why he started after he come on and did that against Rotherham and scored a goal. And he's whipped it across the box. I'm now watching it back, because we was behind that goal. At first I thought Honeyman had just mistimed it. I thought he'd come at him very quickly, but he sort of jumped and he's come off sort of half of his chest, half of his shoulder. And he's got to score. He absolutely has to score. But I'm not sure if Obafemi half got in his way, or there was a miscommunication. But Obafemi was there rolling around the floor doing I don't know what, just getting in the way really. And Honeyman absolutely has to score that. Okay, then they go up the other end, and they have a chance, but it doesn't even actually hit the target. But I just want to say something about Tanganga, who is improving all the time, but it's a couple of little things of him. And you notice when I say this, the Leeds game, the first goal, someone's backing into him. Yes, the ball drops with not a lot of pace on it, and he sort of half gets a header down, and he heads it inside, and that's where their first goal comes from. He's done the same again there in the first half. It's dropping, and he's heading it inside. You know, worst case, you can't get a lot on it. You never head it inside. Trying it outside, he heads it inside, they work the ball wide to the edge of the area, and he makes a really good recovering tackle, and in that instance they don't even get the shot on target. Then we get the one from Cooper, and I don't know what's worse, the Cooper miss or the Honeyman miss. I'll have to go with Cooper, I suppose. We expect more in goal returns than Cooper. That just tells you everything you need to know about our side, because we're expecting a centre-back to score more goals than a left winger. But Cooper's got to score. I mean, he's 3 yards out. I don't know what he's doing. He's just got to read it down. It's not above him. He's about 8'9". He's just got to read it down and score. And, you know, in Neil Harris's defence, if you look at it, you know, in those terms of chances created in the first half, we've created 2 chances. Yes, it wasn't fantastic. The standard of football wasn't fantastic. It never is under Neil Harris. But we forced 2 chances, and we should be 2-0 up. There's one just towards the end of the half where they get through, have a shot. Sarkic makes a good save, and then their guy, for all my money, looks like he's converting it. And Ryan Leonard, probably our player of the season, comes flying out of nowhere to make a really, really good block and injured himself in the process. And that was half time. If you notice as well, 2 games in a row, and then you come out in the second half, the players aren't shooting towards us, which I don't know whether that was Huddersfield decided that by winning the toss. You might think it doesn't make a lot of difference, but for me it did. And the second half was a terrible advert for Championship football. Both sides lacking in confidence, lacking in ideas, out of steam. I won't say 1 foot on the beach already, but they just look shot to bits. And everything that Neil Harris brought back with him, that he's got in his armoury to get the best out of our players, and he gave them that lift from nowhere. He took them from there to there. Confidence, endeavour, togetherness, and work rate-wise, it's just all gone again. And is it the honeymoon period that's over? Was it the new manager bounce, which is, you know, we got what we got, 10 points out of the first 12, but since then now 1 point out of the last 4 games, I think that is. And obviously 3 defeats out of those 4 as well. The only point coming against West Brom. I've absolutely had enough of going to Yorkshire. In recent weeks / month or so, I've gone to Hull, Leeds, Huddersfield and Rotherham and stayed up at all of them. And it's not a sob story, but it's absolutely broken me yesterday. The boys were in the bar last night, say loads was down there. I've come up about 11 o'clock, waited till midnight, staring at the ceiling, thinking, I just cannot believe what I'm doing here. Shall I watch the highlights? Can't face it. I can't. No, watch them. No, I can't. What are we going to do? What's going to happen Tuesday? It's genuinely fucking done me. Like, it's getting me down, and it's understandable, which is a reason I'll get onto in a minute. But look, the second half was a whole lot of nothingness. It got a little bit physical. There was a few bookings, a few tackles flying in, but just absolute zero quality in the game. And the longer it went, you know, Huddersfield arguably needed the points more than us to pull us back in, and we should be out of sight now. As I said, I was never expecting anything from yesterday's game. I predicted a 1-1 draw against West Brom. It's the Rotherham game that's absolutely killed us. Absolutely killed us, and we have to be getting points, some sort of points, from this past week. You know, especially for, 560 yesterday travelled. I know the trains are fucked. I'm not saying, you know, where were you? I'm saying for the ones that did travel, you know, the players have got to show a bit more, and that's what Harris is good at doing. But it just seems to have someone's pulled the plug on it. And I don't know where we go from here now, because even up until yesterday, I'm mates with fucking loads of Arsenal fans. And I'm saying to them, I'll bet any one of you that we ain't getting relegated. It ain't happening. This is our cup final. And I didn't truly believe that we could get relegated until yesterday, but we just look now back where we was on Joe Edwards' last day, minus any good football. We just look shot to bits, and eventually Huddersfield get their goal. I've criticised Sarkic. He makes a good save just before the start of injury time, and then the writing was on the wall right down in front of us. 94 minutes on the clock. It's a fucking brilliant save from Sarkic. Brilliant save, free header. Neil Harris is fuming about that, and the fucking second instance as well, where one of their players reacts quickest, heads home, and Huddersfield take the points. I said this briefly in my full-time reaction yesterday, and I weren't aiming to be all emotional and shit, but it's just reality. Look, this football club means the world to a lot of us. Most people that watch this channel, you know, you get some people that don't support me or watch this channel, and thanks for watching if you do. But yeah, it's given us some fucking good memories down the years, memories that will take to the grave with us, a lot of us, and it's given us some bad times as well. But me personally, and I'm not getting deep, and I'm not, you know, everyone going, oh, you're all right, Dan. I'm absolutely fine. But I'm sure, like me, some of you had probably some, you know, not dark times in your life, but times when you've been down and you need something you can turn to, and the football club has dug me out a few times, you know. It's half the reason how I ended up starting the channel. So I suppose what I'm getting at, short story, extremely long, as you know I like to do, it's easy to support a football club when they're doing well, when you've got the good times, when you've got the days out. I believe, and it was the main reason I was here yesterday, because people go, he does it for the money. No, I don't do it for the money. I could have sat indoors and streamed yesterday and probably earned a few quid off donations and advert revenue. Instead, I came here, like every other paying Millwall fan. I'm not saying I'm fucking better than them. I'm saying I'm with them. You know, hotel, 100 quid, a few beers, something to eat, ticket, etc., etc. That's the main reason I come yesterday, because I strongly believe that the time your football club needs you the most is when you're in the shit, and we are in the shit now. This is serious. So let's try and get behind them for the last 5 games. Let's try and get to games in numbers. I know it's expensive. I know we've got 2 fucking very long away trips coming up again in Sunderland and Swansea. But yeah, look, for me, they've given us the good times. They've dug us out of bad times. So now they're in a fucking pickle. We need to club together and fucking not turn on them, not turn on the manager. We need to get together and do what we do best. And then if we can do that, hopefully we can get ourselves out of this shit. So what we got to do now is we just got to accept what it is. We've got to fucking dig in, and we absolutely have to get some points on the board. Starting with league leaders Leicester at home on Tuesday, and then followed by Cardiff on Saturday. You know, it's still in our hands. That's the way. One way to look at it. It's still in our hands, but now I'm panicking because I don't want to lose our championship status. And yeah, that's about it. We lose the game 1-0. A really poor performance, but again in Neil Harris's defence, 2 chances in the first half. We should have been out of sight, and then you would have took that all day long, wouldn't you? Yes, they've had chances, but opposed to the Rotherham game, we've not scored because their goalkeeper's made some really good saves. We've not scored because of really, really fucking poor finishing. And in striker situation, I don't know what we're going to do. Amaki was back on the bench. Obafemi isn't the answer. Fleming's non-existent, and he can't decide who he wants to play wide. I mean, Honeyman works hard, but he's got no quality, and that was never more evident than the chance he missed. Watmore runs around with his head up his arse like a wasp trapped in a glass. But he can be effective in front of goal, but it depends what fucking head on he's got on that day. Whether he's got strawberry blonde or ginger, you know, what more turns up. Longman is very in and out, although I do feel for Longman because I know he can put the service in, but service into who? No strikers, say Amaka on the bench. The only option you could turn to, and he won't do it, is Tom Leahy in the under-21s. Scores a lot of goals. If you can give him service, you know, I think he'll score. I think, you know, again, looking at Obafemi over the last few games, he had one yesterday, didn't he, where he sort of got a shot away and the goalkeeper defender blocks it. Very similar to his chance at Rotherham, which he should have scored, but was a great save, and the one against West Brom. I feel we're getting the chances. He's never going to be pretty under Neil Harris. But now I just feel that I didn't feel it was a new manager bounce when he came in. I thought, right, he saw it. He knows the best way to do it. And he'll probably show that on Tuesday, funnily enough, against the best side of the division. Because they're the sort of games that Harris does get the players up for. But after those 2 defeats, it's going to be a very sombre environment, I think that's the word, in the training ground and trying to get them rolled up ready for Tuesday. But Tuesday is Tuesday. I did vlog the entire day yesterday. Just thought, fuck it. You know, one last hurrah with the away days. I did a little bit of filming indoors. I showed you around the new studio, the journey up, but obviously I'm not sure whether it's worth putting out now. I'm not sure. I've filmed it all and I've edited it. So I haven't edited it yet. I need to edit it. Maybe I'll edit that on the journey home and stick out anyway as soon as I bother to film it all, but probably get about 4 views. But look, I'll be back tomorrow regardless for a preview, because we face league leaders Leicester at the Den in SE16 on Tuesday night. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday if you can. I'm just about to have a long drive home. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.